Okay, folks, let's talk about DST fees. So 10 years ago, when we got into the industry, because when we looked at the fees on these things, we said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's advisors out there that don't know anything, who are making 7, 8, 9, 10% commissions. You give them $100 grand and they're walking away with $7, 8, 9, $10,000 just in commissions. Their parent firm might be walking away with another 2 or 3, and there's another 10% in fees. We're like, you're telling me there's $20,000 per 100 grand of investment in fees? We were like, this is astonishing. So we came in as the low-cost provider fiduciary and took a great deal of market share away. And if for those people that are around in the 80s, you remember at the time, the only thing that was people basically sold mutual funds to people. I was around that, okay, so that you know. And the mutual fund industry paid the broker dealers a commission, and the broker dealer then paid the broker a commission. That was the way it was done. That was before the no-load index funds came around, and no-load mutual funds came around, and the ETFs came around. So what you're seeing in the DST industry is something very similar, meaning the fees are quote-unquote baked in the cake. So if you're not careful and you don't look at the actual detail of the PPMs, which is a private placement memorandum, you will be ripped off, or at least you will be buying something you think has no fees where it really has outrageous fees. So always look at the PPM. And if you have any questions ever on a PPM, you can always ask us. We'll point out the exact fees on every single PPM. That's our job. Our job is to make sure you're aware of all the fees. So one of the things that we always hear, someone will call us up saying, hey, I'm interested in finding out about your DSTs. What do you do? How do you do it? Blah, 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 blah. And we know right away if they say, well, why would I ever pay you a fee for doing this when I spoke with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and they said there's no fees. It's baked in the cake. They use the word baked in the cake. If you ever hear that phrase, baked in the cake, run. Run, 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 run. Because it's not baked in the cake. If you look at a private placement memorandum, always remember, they're 300 pages long, and around page 262, 63, 64, and 65, there's 4 pages in a row that are going to show you all the fees and all of the assumptions that are being made in that DST. That is the crux of what you have to understand. It's the essence of the traditional DST. Now, there's assumptions made in the other, 296 pages, but that's the crux, and that's where all the fees are. And we'll point it out. And if you don't want us to pull it out, there's third-party due diligence companies out there that we have access to. We can send you their reports, and you can always take the private placement memorandum and download it into your favorite AI tool, and it will spit out the fees and whatnot. So fee transparency is a must. You must understand fees. And again, what we have learned, by now you probably know the difference between a traditional DST and a DST that converts to a REIT. And what you'll find, as we have, is that the strategy of buying traditional DSTs and when they mature, paying exit fees and reentry fees, and then exit fees and reentry fees, over about a 25-year period, you start out with $1 million and you use the traditional DST as your strategy, you're going to end up with about $1 million 20 years from now. So you're going to fall behind inflation. Your income is actually going to drop. Your purchasing power is going to drop. However, the DST that converts to the REIT is going to significantly outperform. When you pass away 20, 30, 40 years from now, you'll have a much higher terminal value than that $1 million sitting in the portfolio of traditional DSTs that someone's going to want to sell you. So be aware, fees matter. Fees matter. Fees matter. I can't say it strongly enough.